Hey folks, day 29. It's kind of a long day. You can see it's nighttime, day 29. So, trying to get ahead again. I've got some stuff on the punch list to do, and one of them was to corner weight the truck, set ride height, get the alignment in, um, and get that stuff done. The truck has an interesting front suspension that takes a little while longer to get the caster and camber in, but I think we did pretty good given time constraints, and it's like almost 11 right now. So I think it's good enough for right now. We'll need to check it after however many miles, maybe 100, 150 miles. We can double check if they're going to drive it that much. Not sure, but it's good enough for what I normally start out with. So let me turn it around. We'll kind of do the back to front again. So let me back that up. So I've got the string set around the truck, and the level to make sure that the truck is completely level. Went ahead and set the ride height. I've got it just a little bit lower than the stock, what it calls for. I'm running everything in the upper holes except for the shocks. The shocks with these guys, you can't run the upper hole, which is fine on the back. On the front, you're pretty close. Well, you got enough room. I mean, I think you got like half an inch left of threads. I'm not sure you're gonna be able to see down in there. Maybe. Don't mind the vice grip. It's in there to remind me to torque everything down. Yeah, I'm not sure you're going to be able to see in there, but you can trust me. There's room, but again, I'm running. You have to run the bottom holes. Oh, go this way. Bottom holes on the shocks, just because they're a little. That piece is a little shorter on the double adjustables. The exhaust is really getting a really nice bronzy color to it. Looks really good. I've got my scales here. The truck is still up on the scales. Kind of left it that way while I did the alignment and everything. I haven't done it that way before. Didn't really cause me too much trouble. And then over here is the business end of the alignment. So I ended up with 65 and 7/16 and 65 and a quarter. So we got 3/16 toe in. The caster's 3.6. Camber's a little aggressive at 1, but they want it as a race truck. Yeah, so that's pretty good. The ride height, like I said, is a little lower than stock by maybe like a half inch. So I think I'm down at like 4 inches, four and a quarter in the front. Sorry, and like 4.5 in the back. And then I went ahead. A little funny. I had to phone a friend. Forgot how to do thrust, and since the front control arms have heims, there's an opportunity to do thrust angle on the rear end. So not only did I do the panhard bar, and on the panhard bar I measured from the rim edge to the center of this bolt. I didn't use this. This isn't, depending on how they burn that in, I'm not sure, but this should be in the right place. So I went from there to there, measured both sides. Nice to do with the bed off. Highly recommended. Get everything set up, and then it doesn't take a lot of adjustment on the panhard bar to get this thing centered. They did a pretty good job with the panhard bar. Almost. I think I got maybe 2 threads on the side, and I zeroed it out before, and it's not torqued yet, so I still have to go over there and torque it. On this side, so do yourself a favor. If you are going to set thrust, don't put, let me see if I can get a better angle. Do not put the left pipe in. because the bolt for the control arm hits this whole mess, and you can't really get the bolt all the way out with this pipe in place. So what I ended up doing, which resolved that problem, is I've got on this side, I cut the spacers, actually 3 spacers, so I didn't have to get the bolt all the way out, and I could take each spacer out individually and then slide the whole Heim joint out this distance, and then leave this in as I adjust as I adjust this Heim. The book is really close. I think it's 1.5 inches. It's 1.5 inches from center. It's in the instructions, but it's center of the bolt hole to the top of the nut. It's 1.5. So if you set it up that way, you're gonna. And then I did the 3-link bar the same way, so they're all set at 1.5, and the pinion angle came right in. So definitely don't go off the reservation on that one. Follow those directions, and you'll definitely be right in. So what I haven't covered yet, just give me a second. I'll pull up the. All right, so let me turn this around. I took a picture of a picture. So the truck right now, and I had the other seat in there, 5 gallons of gas is 1943, and I've got you can see it's got a little front heavy. That should change once we get the stainless bed in there. Put quite a bit of weight in the rear, and then more gas. Right, only 5 gallons in there right now. And I adjusted the cross weight. I'm at 49.9 as it sits right now. It'll change a little bit, with people in it. But because this isn't my cars I'll weigh with me in it, and then I'll get the cross set 50-50. That way when we autocross, the car is pretty planted. But in this case, I'm measuring without. Looks like I've got one small brake leak, surprise with fluid in me, on the right front caliper union. So I'll have to address that tomorrow, and I'm going to re-bleed the brakes, the front circuit. I'm going to re-bleed those again, probably tomorrow. But all in all, we got the alignment done. It's corner weighed. We know what that is, so that's a good benchmark. I did manage to fix the radiator. Let me show you how I did that. And then, so the issue, and hopefully you can see this, the issue is, all right, stand by. Let me get a flashlight. Okay. It's not so much an issue, it's something you just got to watch out for. This lower radiator hose needs to go underneath this bar, and in order to do that, you need to make sure, hopefully you can see all this, that when you do the radiator bracket, that these nuts or the bolts coming through are all the way down, so that the radiator is at the lowest point. If you don't do that, and best to have it all loose and kind of wiggle it in there. Went back and forth, different brackets. These were actually the original brackets that were sent with the truck that didn't work the first time. But I took a step back, talked to Factory 5 a little bit, bounced some ideas off Jim. Thanks, Jim. And ultimately was just going to make it work, but I gave it one more try. But this is the correct bracket for the 35 or 33 grill. The 35 has little wings that go right here. Yeah, basically just had left this bracket loose, wiggled all around until I was able to get that radiator opening below that tube. And right now I just have a 90 on there, and I'm going to be building off of that. and hose clamp needs to be added as I work towards the, putting water in here. And then, so what that ended up doing is, let me do this. As soon as we lowered that, well, now the profile of the reservoir looks a lot nicer, right? So now it's more level with the truck or the engine. So I think still what we're gonna do is it's gonna come out here and basically make a straight down and then right towards that, I guess that's the inlet, outlet. And then we'll snake the other one down straight. The other one will probably, I think I'm gonna leave them all black so you don't really pay attention to them. But yeah, I think we're in good shape there. Other than that, haven't messed with anything else in the truck today since I was working. So yeah, other than that, I think, yeah, we're good shape. I'm happy we got the alignment done. That's a big deal. What's really was really messing with my mind. Let me do this. The truck is so wide up front that when you look at the string, I don't know if you can see that, the string is so far off the wheel. I'm not used to seeing it that way. And it's tight here, and it gives me this impression that it's got a ton of toe out. And I was trying to adjust it more by eye to get it close, and I ended up with a whole bunch of toe in, and then couldn't figure that out. I was at like an inch toe in. The other thing I gotta watch for, now that I got it on the scales, as I'm making adjustments, it was moving my steering wheel and then causing the wheels to go out of center, and I was adjusting to that. So yeah, the easiest thing should be toe, and it took me 40 minutes to get the toe in, which in complete honesty is embarrassing. That should be like a 15-minute job to get the toe in. So yeah, it's fine. It's probably a function of me trying to hurry up and get it done all tonight, and not pacing myself like I normally do. But today was committed to suspension, weight, and alignment, getting everything done. And of course I've decided I really wanted to do the thrust, which the thrust ended up being like 0.12 off. I could have probably chased it down to exactly 0, so the truck will have a little, I don't even know if the imperceivable crab, but I guess the whole world knows that it's off just a little bit. I'm guessing that's within the margin of a normal vehicle. Actually that's an eighth, not 0.125. So yeah, an eighth. That's not bad. If I really feel like getting after it, it's probably 2 turns of one end of the control arms, and it's done. We'll see if I have time to mess with it after the fact. Since nothing will change with the bed on, it's easy to get to and measure. Other than that, folks, we're gonna wrap it up tonight. I gotta go take another shower now. It's 150 degrees in this garage. The humidity comes up, I guess, at night, and then I gotta figure out what we're gonna do tomorrow. I hope we'll have some parts. I think the intake parts will be in tomorrow for the mass air meter. I did find out real quick that the tune that I had installed in there was for a 3.5 inch mass air meter, and I've got a 4-inch. So real quick tag up with Wayne Presley. We've got a plan on how to change that, so that should make the truck run significantly better. If you notice in the video, didn't really want to take the throttle right away, and I got to thinking about it. That was the same thing that happened on another car that I was working on for a friend of mine. So as soon as we changed that, the throttle came alive. So but I don't want to run it anymore until we get some water in it. So yep. And then I gotta mount the seats. I'm probably gonna knock at least one out maybe Wednesday, and then I'll do the other one on Thursday, and then rip those out and probably start on the carpet and get that in there. I still got to go around, nut and bolt everything. So depending on how things go, I might change things up. Just get everything nut and bolted, brakes rebled. I think I'll do that tomorrow for sure. Maybe during lunch, come home, get that done, and then get that leak fixed. Other than that, I think we're moving right along. It's close. I got to go check on the painter. I'll give him a call, or maybe go by on Wednesday. I only have a couple more weekends, and we got to get that body on there. So hopefully he's making great progress. Hopefully I'll move the truck over to his area maybe next weekend, and maybe we'll have at least a cab to put on there. So stay tuned, moving fast. Hope we make it. See ya.